All right, let's talk about the one tool that truly separates the pros from the hopefuls in trading. And no, it's not some secret indicator or a crazy expensive algorithm. It's something much, much simpler, but way more powerful, the trading journal. Let's dig into how this one thing can completely change the game for you.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the unseen enemy that's probably sabotaging your trades right now. Then, we'll get into your data-driven superpower and what you actually need to track. After that, we'll look at how to build your journal. And finally, the incredible transformation from just guessing to actually knowing.
Okay, so let's get right to the heart of the problem. Trading without a journal? Well, it's like trying to get through a maze with a blindfold on. Yeah, you might get lucky here and there, but you're basically just fumbling around in the dark, making decisions based on emotion and wondering why you're losing money.
And that really brings up the big question, doesn't it? You have to ask yourself, are you actually trading a system like a business, or are you just pulling the lever on a slot machine and hoping for the best? The difference between the two really comes down to one thing: data.
And this really breaks it down perfectly. Look at the left side. That's the world most traders live in. It's all subjective feelings, fear, FOMO, guesswork, and that tricky selective memory that only recalls the big wins, right? But then look at the right. That's the clarity you get from objective data. This is where you find your real edge, uncover those hidden patterns, and build an unshakable, data-driven conviction in what you're doing.
So how do we get from that chaos on the left to the clarity on the right? Well, that's where the journal comes in. Think of it as your data-driven superpower, and it's built on 3 really important pillars of insight.
The first pillar is all about measuring what truly matters. You know, your profit and loss at the end of the day. That's just one number. A journal gives you the critical stuff, like your actual win rate, your profit factor, and your expectancy, which is basically how much you can expect to make or lose on any given trade. This is the raw, unfiltered truth of your performance.
Second, your journal is like a magnifying glass for your trading. It helps you spot patterns you would absolutely miss otherwise. Maybe you'll find out your favorite setup only really works on tech stocks, or just in the morning. Your journal will shine a light on these things, letting you double down on what works and, just as important, cut out what doesn't.
In the third pillar, well, this might be the most important one of all: mastering your own mind. Let's be real, trading is a psychological game. By logging how you feel during a trade, you can start to pinpoint your triggers. You'll see the FOMO creeping in, or you'll notice that urge to revenge trade after a loss. Just being aware of that stuff is the first massive step toward building real emotional discipline.
Okay, time to get practical. We know why we need a journal, but what in the world are we supposed to write in it? Let's break down the anatomy of a perfect journal entry.
Here's the deal. You have to capture both the what and the why. Of course, you need the basics, like what you traded and your position size, but the real gold is in tracking things like the specific strategy you used and your R multiple, which, as you see here, is a simple way to measure your profit against your initial risk. That context is literally everything.
But listen, the numbers alone are not enough. The qualitative stuff, the notes, that's where the deep learning really happens. How were you feeling? Were you confident? Anxious? Did you break a rule? If you did, why? Seriously, writing down one key lesson from every single trade is one of the fastest ways to get better. And please, take screenshots. They are an absolute game changer when you're reviewing your week. Okay, so you're sold, you're ready to start. The question is, how do you actually build this habit without falling into the common traps that make most people quit after a week? Look, it's actually a pretty simple 3-step plan. First, just pick a tool. A simple spreadsheet is fine, or you can use dedicated software. Don't get hung up on this. Second, and this is the big one, log every single trade. No excuses, no exceptions. And third, schedule time to actually review it every week. Collecting data is useless if you never look at it.
And as you get started, just try to avoid these classic mistakes. Don't be inconsistent. That means you can't skip logging the losing trades. Don't be vague. Add that context. Don't just stare at the P&L. And again, you have to review the data. The key is to just start simple and stay consistent. You can always add more detail later. Because when you put it all together, consistent logging and regular review, something pretty amazing starts to happen. You stop guessing what might work, and you start knowing what does.
And this isn't just some theory. Think about this. A trader reviews their journal and has a light bulb moment. They realize their favorite breakout strategy is a cash cow, but only on tech stocks. It's a total loser everywhere else. With that one piece of information, they focus their energy and completely turn their profitability around.
Or how about this one, which is all about psychology? A trader sees a clear pattern in their journal. After every big loss, their next 2 trades are always impulsive, way too big, and almost always losers. They finally see it for what it is, revenge trading. So they make a new rule, a mandatory 30-minute cool down after any major loss. Their discipline and their account balance improve dramatically.
It all comes down to what the famous management consultant Peter Drucker said: if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. The pros treat trading like a business, and you'll never find a successful business that doesn't keep meticulous records. Your journal is your P&L statement, your employee performance review, and your strategic plan, all rolled into one.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. You are generating valuable data with every single click you make. The only question is, are you brave enough to listen to what it's trying to tell you?